something that you need to be taught.
So yeah, my brother, it's very interesting. Like, music is a language. And also, when we go back to ancient Egypt, they used to use music, basically, vibrations and tones to heal the body. Because, we think that music is just like, you're just playing music. It's just for us to, like, to dance and to, obviously, yes, it is also for entertainment. It's mainly for entertainment. But music, used to be used by our ancestors to heal the body. They had different frequencies, different tones, and each tone basically will be targeting a certain area to heal it, to repair it. But unfortunately, today, people like you and I, we just listen to the music, not knowing whether the frequencies and the vibrations that are coming to us, whether they are good for us or not. And unfortunately, because how the elite or the matrix, I don't know how you want to call them, but whatever, they have, they also know about the power of music. They know about the fact that you can add, subliminal messages behind the music to either heal the body, like I said, or to send very, very evil messages. And unfortunately, nowadays, the music that we're hearing, because, I don't know if you heard about the solfeggio frequencies. Have you already heard about the solfeggio frequencies?
Like I said, music cannot be heard without the breath or wind or air or water, matter such as water or the physical body. So music exists in relation to our existence, similar to how Africans viewed the concept of God. God exists because of our awareness, right? So I think music, in a similar way, exists with our existence, and therefore it's not something that you can really separate. But the risk with it is that it can be used against you. Like you said, and I totally agree that we don't no longer know the value and the role and the power of music. We know music for entertainment or for religious purposes or spiritual purposes even. But as a healing medium, an average person does not know that. And even conceptually, to some people, it could be hard to explain or to understand until you explain that, well, without the breath, without, the physical body or matter, music can't exist. So those who know that we don't know. And in the absence of our knowledge, they then use that against you. So, people will tell you that when the first ships landed, particularly, I'd say, in Southern Africa, the Cape of Good Hope, I guess, they'd obviously already been in other parts of the continent. But prior to them coming to the continent altogether, we'd been trading with the Chinese, we'd been trading with Indians, we'd been trading with the Portuguese and the Arabs. I'm of the opinion that by the time the Europeans came, they didn't come to discover. They knew. They were told by other nationalities that they traded with that if you want to see the land of milk and honey, that's where you have to go. So one of my own hypotheses also is that the moment they learned to sail ships and got out of Europe, they realized that they are a minority. Chinese are considered yellow. Indian people are considered brown. In fact, most of the world is brown, right? They might say Africa is black, but nobody is pale skinned, everybody else is a shade of brown or anything else but white. So there was already an insecurity, I think. And so that gave birth to the lower vibration. Well, not gave birth, but allowed the lower vibration, the insecurity to drive them, and therefore we saw qualities like greed come up, and today music is weaponized, actually, to a large extent. I mean, I've heard little kids sing lyrics. Who was it? I think it was a Chris Brown song. If I'm not mistaken, the opening line of the song is, you can edit this out, but the opening line of the song is, pull your to the side. I did not know that's what he's saying until I heard, I think, a 9-year-old girl, a friend of mine's niece, say it. And that's when like I said, I don't listen to the actual words, but that's when it struck me that, oh my gosh, the concept, the idea of those words is already accessible to a 9-year-old girl from a song that is played over and over and over in all radio stations. So that also kind of got me curious as to how is that allowed in the first place. I don't care who your target market is, because the song is going to be on radio. It's meant to be a single, which means it's going to be on high rotation. Who's your intended market? Because you know that children are going to listen to it. But therefore, how is it allowed? But you start realizing that it's actually weaponized for control, and makes sense why we have such highly sexualized lyrics and music videos today. It's all about profit. People talk about how the idea of sex sells. But to be quite honest, it's just a corruption and tapping into a low vibration of the frequency of music, among so many other frequencies.
Before in the 1940s, that's when I don't remember the family, but it's one of those big family. I think it was the Rockefeller family. I'm not sure, but that's when basically they decided to change the tone of the mainstream tone from 432 hertz to 444. 440 hertz. 440 hertz. But the only problem is that those two frequencies are very, very different. On the one hand, with 432, you have something that basically, heals, a frequency that literally heals the body and restore the cells, broken cells, and it heals the body. It's not just an image or a poetic thing. It's literally heals the body. And the other one, for 440 hertz, that one, it's the opposite. When you listen, when you listen to that, you are driven away from love. You are driven away from love. So you're going to start, having low vibrational, feelings like anger, hatred, there are things that basically are not allowing you to elevate your consciousness. So they want us to, they want to keep us low. That's why they switched from 432 hertz, which was all about love and feeling, in harmony with our environment, with nature, feeling well in our bodies, feeling healthy, to 440 hertz, which is like, depression and all the negativity, basically, that comes with low vibration.
I remember as you're talking, a story that I saw, I think probably on the news in the US, there was a mass shooting. And it turned out this was a teenager who was listening to a band called Slipknot. They wear masks and, I don't know, it's heavy metal music. And somehow that inspired this kid to take a machine gun, go out to school, and shoot as many people as he could. That's the low vibration example that just popped
Definitely.
up now. But then the other side of it is, who has written more about love when you talk about music? You know, it's Africans, it's African Americans.
But my brother, I mean, we know the power of words. You can speak, you know, but once again, music in itself, without even the words, it's a language, you know, like we said. So, you know, even you can talk about love, but with very perverted, you know, agenda behind. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Like, for instance, Chris Brown, that song you just mentioned was a love song. It was a love song, but it's more like, you know, exposing sexuality to a very young audience. You see?
Yes.
So can we really talk about love in that sense? They want us to believe that it's love because they are talking, oh, I love you and all of that. But what is the message behind? You know, when you look at when you watch their video clips, do you really see love? You know, so it's all about that. You know, I think we need to wake up.
Not at all.